Hello again. You know who Hassan Rouhani is? Well, Hassan Rouhani is the president of Iran. You know, the country that Obama and that whack job Kerry have been negotiating with for over 2 years. I'm going to give you a quote of his. It's most interesting. Quote, "Saying death to America is easy. We need to express death to America with action." End of quote. What does that mean? Somebody needs to ask Barack Hussein Obama what that means. When he says, saying death to America is easy, we need to express death to America with action. Would you not take that as a direct threat to our country? I sure as heck would. Huh? Well, that's what the man said. I'm going to attach a link to the Clarion Project. And there's some other interesting quotes that you might want to sort of gander at. This one here, I think, says all you need to know. Jihadists in Syria have the right to have sex with their sisters when there are no female jihadists available. And that was by Nasser al-Omar, a well-known Saudi imam. Saudi imam. These people are completely crazy. Ansar-e-Hezbollah, reacting to an announcement that women would be allowed to watch soccer, an Iranian militant threatened violence, saying, quote, "The presence of women in soccer stadiums is considered a violation of the regime of the supreme leader, Ali-Khomenie, and Islamic tradition." And again, we've got Hassan Rouhani, quote, "Iran has no military base in Iraq and Syria. Our military support to some countries is only in an advisory capacity in order to fight terror." End of quote. Now this is coming from one of the largest terrorist countries in the world. Let me give that to you again. Quote, "Iran has no military bases in Iraq and Syria. Our military support to some countries is only in an advisory capacity in order to fight terror." End of quote. Then there's a picture of a large number of, I assume, Iraqis on their knees wearing red jumpsuits. I think we all saw this, where they end up decapitating these captives of theirs. And the quote below that picture is, quote, "Whoever dislikes Islam State in Iraq and the Levant, his fast won't be accepted by Allah." Islamic State. Richard Barrett, he's the former head of counterterrorism at MI6, Britain's secret intelligence service, quote, "We cannot destroy ISIS, so we will have to learn to live with it." Calling it an it. And this is Mohammed Amin. He's chairman of the Conservative Muslim Forum in the United Kingdom. Conservative Muslim Forum. "There are some conflicts in which one cannot be a bystander, and the struggle against both violent and non-violent Islamist extremism is one of them." End of quote. Here's a good one by Sheikh Yosef al-Ozaguma. Quote, "When the group sees that it needs someone to be a suicide bomber against others, and the group plans how he will do it with the minimum number of casualties, it is permitted. You know, I don't understand why the Sheikh Yusuf Ali-Khomenie, whatever his name is, doesn't volunteer. I mean, he's had a good life. So why doesn't he volunteer and become a suicide bomber? Why do they put it on someone else? You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of most of our members of Congress. Let them do it. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to war, but they're going to fight it. Mm-hmm. That's what this jackass reminds me of. Another guy by the name of Mojid Nassar. Quote, truth is, whether non-terrorist extremism empirically leads to terrorist violence is a huge red herring, because like racism, it's bad anyway, whatever the hell that means. Another one by Jeffrey Taylor. He's a contributing editor to The Atlantic. Islamophobia and Islamophobic are bludgeoning terms of political jargon wielded to suppress free speech and render Islam off limits for anything but accolades, or at least neutral acceptance, end of quote. I don't know, folks. I'm going to attach the link. You're going to see all these lovely people with their towels wrapped around their head. And you're going to see the quote from Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran. Once again, who in their right mind would negotiate with a country whose president says, quote, saying death to America is easy. We need to express death to America with action. I mean, it would only take a moron or a pair of morons to negotiate with mentally disturbed, inbred, Muslim, extremist, Shiite Arabs. They're all the same. They're all nuts. Read the quotes. Tell me these people are normal. You can't, can you?